Hi, everyone. Welcome back into Primetime TV. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is my husband, best friend, confidant, life coach, all of that.
Wow. Boy, I deserve that.
Dennis Kelly. That would be Grandmaster Dennis Kelly, and he's getting ready to teach me the bolero, okay? I have to say this. Never before have I learned this. He broke out into a bolero this afternoon in our family room, totally unexpected, after he got off the rebounder and he was listening to this hot Latin music, and he goes, I'm going to do the bolero. I go, okay. I wish you could have seen it. And mind you, he won 2 gold medals back in the day many years ago in the bolero and the tango. What year was that, my lovely
1963, Wichita, Kansas.
63?
Yeah, 1963.
Have you done that since then?
No.
Did you think?
Well, yeah, I did it for a year till I stopped teaching.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it in years.
So what made you do that?
I'll be honest with you, I've been taking, this sounds like a commercial, but it's the truth. I've been taking the rising...
The rising sun?
I almost said the rising sun.
The sunrise.
The sunrise, and then the sunset, and then the core 140 plus,
Yeah.
which is a protein. I've been taking the whole works, and it's like something exploded inside me. I had to get it out.
That was really good, but it does sound like a commercial, and it really isn't.
It's not.
It really isn't, but you know what? Here's the deal. We have been shamelessly talking about all the crazy things we've all been going through with this COVID-19. I just don't even like to say it anymore, but the thing is that now it's on the rise again. There's already states shutting down in some of the open dining restaurants and that kind of thing. Same thing, here we're noticing. And my goodness gracious, I have to get up on my soapbox yet once again, and we're going to continue to give you new content to our shows because of the things that are happening to us in our own personal life. And that's all we have ever done ever since we've been together for 23 years is to do the research the researchers, get the clinical studies, and prove it to ourselves. And I'm telling you, we are so on fire today. It's like another breakthrough. Do you ever get on a program, whether it be a diet or a new food menu, and all of a sudden you start noticing different little things, and then all of a sudden you're going, dang, this stuff really works? Well, that's what I'm saying. Dang, this stuff really does work. Even more so because for some reason, we've been on this now for 7 months, and just this last weekend, we've noticed even more so. And I woke up this morning and I said, gosh, I feel like my tummy is starting to flatten out. He thought I lost 5 pounds overnight. I didn't weigh myself, but honest to God, this is what I'm doing for a meal replacement. And I couldn't even wait to get into the show to start talking about this today because, I'm going on 73 years young now, and I want to be the best that I can be, and I can still get down on the floor with my grandson, and I'll be darned if I am not going to age like everyone else. You heard it right here. Is there any guarantee in life? No, but I'll tell you, when you have the knowledge, you have the power, and that's what we've been doing for the last 7 months. When doors closed, boom, 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 one right after another for us. We lost 1/3 of our income. We didn't know how we were going to even buy supplements anymore, and we knew we had to take care of ourselves because of COVID. We are both in that age group. So one fine day, we get a phone call from a lovely individual, a young lady herself, Mary Louise Zeller, who has been on the show in the past. And honestly, the motivation and the inspiration that she gave us, we cannot put a price on it because the price is so high. When you go through financial duress, when you go through a pandemic, we've never gone through a pandemic before. I don't even like talking about it. But the reason why I'm doing it is because we've got that fire in our belly to share everything we possibly can share with you. If you're interested, great. God bless you. If you're not, it's kind of okay, only because we know what we know from just our experience and so many others, and we can't make any claims to cure, diagnose, or anything like that when it comes to disease. You can be the observer, and then you can let us know if this is something that you might be interested in, because we'll be talking about and giving you a web link and all. But from our hearts to yours, really and truly, we want to be a game changer, a life changer. We want to help to transform lives, from teaching people how to do some really great exercise, very simple exercises with Tai Chi, Qigong, from living a heart-empowered life. Right here and now, after watching some of the news recently and just finding out what the reports were from Johns Hopkins on the new cases of, I can't say it again, I got to think, and I go, we really, really have to get up on our soapbox today and stress the importance of exercise, of taking the right supplements that have the right power in them, that can possibly change your life for the better. We have adaptogens in here, and we're stress masters. We know how to teach stress, and we live that stress-less life. But even we are like plumbers with leaky pipes from time to time. When you're faced with things that you've never been faced with, and you have to kind of figure out, okay, where do I go from here? We're where we choose to be. Simplified, affordable, and I tell you, I'm just so motivated to inspire everyone to even glean a little bit of inspiration from our show today, or even some of the information that we give you on our exact program, because this, combined with the heart empowerment lifestyle that we've been living both for 23 years.
Yep.
And we are both not only certified in teaching the Heart Math experience, but we're also licensed with Heart Math as well for teaching kids. So we're doing everything we can on this end. We want to help you. Please private message us if you have any questions. But I had to come right out of the gate with all this passion. I'm so passionate about what we're doing here on the show and using this as a platform. But wait, there's more coming down the pike, and you'll hear all about that probably after the first of the year, maybe a little bit before, because our purpose is to give you little sneak peeks of the new you breakthrough for 2021. And part of that breakthrough is this beautiful human being that loves people and has been helping many people for many, many years. And her name is Mary Louise Zeller. We're going to bring her out after I show an inspiration that will move you to tears. We'll be right back.
The story of Mary Louise Zeller is one of finding confidence by becoming more internal. Her struggle began when her 18-month-old son fell from a 2-story window and was critically injured.
I was depressed. I cried a lot. I could be driving down the road and I'd start crying. The baby held me together. I had to take care of him. Well, one Sunday morning, I was reading the newspaper and I saw an ad for Taekwondo, and it said to improve focus and concentration, of which I had none. It said to strengthen self-confidence, of which I had none. I mean, if you can't keep your own child safe, how good a mother are you? I mean, it's like my self-confidence was shattered. So, and then I was way overweight and out of shape, and it said get fit. So I said, wow, that sounds like more fun than running and weightlifting and aerobics. And so I answered the ad. And I was just going in to check it out in Master Kim in Vallejo, California. He handed me a uniform. He says, here, put this on. There's something about the way a master says, here, put this on. You go, oh, okay. I wasn't going to do that, but okay. And he taught me a lesson. He said, come back tomorrow. So I did. And I noticed that I felt more alive. And the more active I got physically, the more settled my mind got, the more settled my emotions got. The first 2 weeks, my muscles were so sore, I slept in the bathtub. Really. It was the only place I could sleep. I had to bounce down the stairs on my bottom, crawl up them. I don't know how I kept going, but it gave me a feeling of being alive again. It gave me hope. It did give me self-confidence. The ad was true. People told me I was too old. I started when I was 44. And I was too old, especially when, okay, you're gonna compete. The first time Master Kim said, I want you to come to a competition, I thought he meant the mommy things, cheerlead, drive, make sandwiches. You know, and he says, oh no, you will compete. It's the same thing, give you a uniform, put it on. I go, oh, okay, I'll compete. And I was terrified, I couldn't even get a deep breath. And I just did it anyway. And after it was over, I was like, wow! It was like being in high school again, getting on the bus, going to the basketball game. But I lost every match I fought for 2 years. You'd think you would just get discouraged and quit. But I finally went out there, instead of holding back, trying to stay safe. This is full contact Taekwondo. We wear protective gear in the Olympic style, but it is full contact. So I was trying to be safe. Well, you can't win trying to be safe. You can be safe trying to be safe, but you can't win. So I just got out there and I was going, I'm not losing one more time. I'm gonna win this match. And that poor opponent of mine, I went after like a banshee. She was like, oh my gosh, somebody dragged this grandmother off of me. You know, so, and from then on out, I saw that I had something to do with it. Somewhere along the line, I said, I want to go to the Olympics. I'm sure that God has a sense of humor now, because to give me a desire to go to the Olympics when I'm, 55 years old, that's a sense of humor. And everybody thought I was ridiculous. But you know what? I gave them a run for their money. In the South, they'll say, it's better to shoot for the moon and hit the fence than to shoot for the fence and hit the ground. So I shot for the moon. I got 4th in the 18 and over division in full contact fighting, which requires speed, strength, stamina, endurance, amazing quickness. It is a sport of quickness. You really have to have a big dream to be alive. Power and passion in life live in that domain. The power of being internal is to actually be at the source of power. When I'm making a difference, I'm happy. If I can inspire you, look, you don't have to look forward to drooling in an old folks' home when you get older. When I'm 80, I'm gonna be on the mat in some form or fashion. Some mat, like whatever your mat is. I'm gonna be on the mat, playing the game. What I would like to leave you with, the one thing, is something that your coach will tell you, leave it on the mat. When you go out, when you go out to give it all, and you gave it all, it is so rich. Leave it on the mat. So when you think you don't have anything left to give, you've got everything to give. Leave it on the mat. Leave it all. Don't leave this life without leaving it all. Just give it.
Leave it on the mat, right? Leave it on the mat. Whatever's bothering you out there today, guys and gals, just leave it on the mat. And I you know, sometimes I can get through that video and sometimes I can't because my husband and I have been there. We know what that's like, don't we?
Boy,
Don't
we sure do.
And that's why we do what we do here. So let's bring Mary Louise on so I can wipe my tears away and Mary Louise can take over. Hey, Mary Louise.
I make me cry too when I see it.
Unbelievable. You're just, you know what, I never get tired. We've shown that your video and brought you on in so many shows, but not near as much as we want to and will as we move forward in introducing you as a 9-time world martial arts champion. And yes, you did have to leave a whole lot on the mat. And the inspirations that you have out there to give to us and to give to others is just absolutely phenomenal. And that's why we love to hear from you. Inspirations, motivations. You know, we're in some tough times again. Just when we thought things were going to, you know, open up and we're going to, and a lot of people are. I mean, we're staying positive. We are darn determined not to let this get us down. So I'm turning the show over to you. Tell us what, you know, how you must have felt back in the day when your son fell out the window. My goodness gracious.
That time I was shattered, actually. I lost myself. I've always been a self-confident person. And, you know, I had Adam when I was 44. And I had lost 2 babies, one at 6 months before he was born, and then 2 after he was born. So somehow the little miracle got here, and he was the light of my life, the joy of my life. And, you know, just visiting some friends up in Grass Valley, California, in their new house. And, you know, they hadn't moved in yet. So I did not know. I'd never seen ceiling to floor windows. Neither has the baby seen screens at his height. They're always up here. So he just reached his little hand out just as I was coming in the room behind him. It was an empty room, so I thought, well, there's no furniture, nothing to get into. And I was just chatting with my friend, and the kids had run ahead. And I just walked into the room just in time to see him fall. And I had a mind shock. I don't know how else to describe that other than the room turned into a long black tunnel. My husband, I told him I couldn't even scream. He said, "You were screaming." And I didn't even know it. And something snapped, and I knew I had to get to him. And I turned and raced down the stairs. And there's something that happens to your brain where you just can't even accept that. But as I came out, my husband was there with him, and Adam had his head up off the ground crying. So then I knew he was alive. You know, and then just that interminable time waiting. We were out in the country waiting for the ambulance to come, not knowing how badly he was hurt. And I just remember one time in the ambulance where his eyes started to roll back in his head. And I said, no, come back here. Stay with mommy. Stay with mommy. He was about 18 months old. And he did. And, you know, he had a fractured skull in 3 places. And we had to even go to a neurologist for a while. He was dragging one leg and like that. But he healed. And I think he healed faster than I did. We were clinging to each other like, I don't know, like we would die if we weren't holding on to each other. So my self-confidence was gone. If you can't keep your own child safe, you know, you're a bad mother, right? And, you know, so I felt guilty. I felt terrified. I was shocked. You know, and the baby's grandmother was a psychologist, and she says, "Mary Louise, you have post-traumatic stress disorder."
Oh, no
Yeah,
doubt.
and she says, of the 20 symptoms, you've got about 18, and it doesn't go away on its own. So I started doing some counseling with somebody who, you know, specialized in post-traumatic stress disorder. And she was so impressed. I started Taekwondo because I saw an ad in the Sunday paper that said, you know, self-confidence, which I had none at the time, and focus, which I had none at the time. And I couldn't remember from leaving one room to the next what I was going for. And, you know, so when I first went to Taekwondo, it was like somebody threw me a life preserver. It like grounded me. And when I first started punching, and my first punch went like that, and Master Kim told me, he says, "It's a lack of focus." I said, "Funny thing, you should mention that." As the punch got solid, so did the mind. And it grounded me. The cross patterning in Taekwondo, it builds neural pathways in the brain for focus and concentration, which is why kids with ADD, autism, they improve. It improves brain function. But it did something for me emotionally. I began to go up through the ranks and accomplish. And it started to build my self-confidence again. And even I started going in and to the school and helping Master Kim teach the little kids. And even my little son, Adam, started Taekwondo when he was about 2 and doing tournaments when he was 3.
Oh, my goodness.
That was something with them we shared together, and we go to competitions together. And it just, like I said, was a lifeline. So that was part of the reason. And then I just loved it. The physical exercise of it. We talk about staying well and anti-aging. And I can't tell you what I've learned over the years is that I'm just not aging like everybody else. I've always done smart supplementation. I'm a biologist. I did cancer diagnosis and research for about 25 years. I have always studied since I started, really competing in Taekwondo. And, at the ripe old age of about, 48, I said, I want to go to the Olympics. That's like saying, I think I'll go to the moon. It's the impossible dream. But then you do it like it's possible. A lot of people look at your accomplishments looking back over it. But the living of it is something different. Every day you go, you get tired, it's like sometimes I would have to bounce down the steps on my bum just because my legs were so sore I couldn't even walk up and down the stairs. And I would sleep in the bathtub just to relieve all the muscle aches and pains. But then I got stronger and stronger and stronger. And that is anti-aging. And it also boosts the immune system. There's something about exercise that tells your body, I'm still alive, I am building, come on body, let's build, let's stay strong, I need some energy, let's go. And so then I began researching supplementation and diet and everything for high performance. Wasn't even thinking about aging. It just didn't even exist for me. I mean, I'm 77 years old, and it's just a number I'm proud of. It's like I'm declining to decline with age. Thank you very much. I am going to strengthen with every breath of life. Now, I may get hit upside the head by a 2x4, just like Grandmaster has been strong all his life and then got diagnosed with the P word. And he's had to really, really struggle. But you know what? It's that warrior spirit in him, too.
Yes, ma'am.
That warrior spirit that he just, and you too, warrior, because I tell you what, my husband died with cancer, 5.5 years. We had to be with that. And I know what it's like to take care of somebody. And, in the particular kind of cancer he had, there was no hope. It was 0. And he lived, and so the prognosis was 6 to 8 months with all the supplementation we did. And that man exercised till the week before he died.
Wow.
And diet and juicing and oxygen, ozone therapies and the superfood supplementations, because he got diagnosed about a month after I started with Kyani and on those supplements. And I swear that gave him life, and he lived 5.5 years instead of 6 to 8 months.
See, and you did the homework, and you were all accountable, and you helped bring him back and give him the best that you possibly could for the remaining years that you had him. And it's interesting that you said something about us all being warriors, and that is actually a choice. And the funny thing about this, I shouldn't say funny because it hasn't been funny with the P word, but when we were first getting this wonderful news, I told my husband that I was not a caregiver. Do you hear about the tree story?
I hate the word caregiver.
I know. So
there's something about it that dehumanizes you and that you exist. Just
Exactly.
To get clear.
Exactly.
I'm like, the wife who cares, yes.
Yes, and that's exactly what I am. And I told one of our doctors, actually just yesterday, and she chuckled when I told her. I told my husband, I said, look, you're not walking right. You're walking straight and forward. You're doing the forward walk that you talk to your students not to do. And you teach them posture and teach them how to walk and how to do exercises to keep your shoulders back and have that self-confidence and all that. I said, so you need to fix that, and you need to start doing this and getting back to that, and la, 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 because here is the extent of my caregiving. You see the oak tree out front. I will tie you to that oak tree, and I will hose you down a few times a week. I will give you 3 square meals a day, and that's it. And I said, so get yourself together. And I was really like on a roll there. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and then we both just burst out laughing. But you know what? That was really part of our cure-all for breaking the ice and accepting the fact that he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and then turning around and letting it go and being determined to pull him out of the black hole. This man was in a black hole. How long ago was it when we pulled you out of that from something else that we were doing at the time? About 6 years, 5, 6 years ago? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't even, if I said, this is a bottle, he'd go, what? 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 And then I had to say rude words to get him to hear me say that this was a bottle. And so, yeah, so it wasn't fun. And it's a matter of choice on whether you are going to become a warrior or not. And it depends on the people that are with you to help support you. And you know what? If you've got the love, as you know, Mary Louise, the love of your husband, that is healing in itself, and you will go through just about anything. I've watched many of my friends caregive to the point where they did become the patient, and that was a learning lesson for me, as you know, becoming a caregiver. We've lost several friends just in this last 6 months, and they were all females that were caregivers. And so I thought, okay, what can I learn from this? What can I do, I personally, as the wife of my husband, and help, not do for him, make him bloody well do it for himself. And he is. He broke out into a hot, sexy Latin bolero this afternoon.
A pair of 50 cents a
He's
sale,
82 going on 83.
Now she wants a raise. I'll tell you,
I just want my dance lessons.
Part of my little secret, I say, because I don't tell too many people this, but I picture the Parkinson's disease, a dragon, a big, ugly, juicy dragon. And I picture that dragon attacking me, and I take my sword and I cut off his head and his tail and stab him in the heart. And I go through that every day. I am merciless when it comes to the dragon. So that dragon is the Parkinson's disease. That isn't the sole thing I do, but that is the one thing that gets me started, generates the passion to get rid of this disgusting, revocable
Exactly.
giant of a poor source for something alive on this earth. So that's part of my little under the world secret.
So this is new. I didn't know that you were slaying dragons every day.
Oh yeah, I slay dragons every day.
The imaginary dragon. As long as you're not slaying me, I have to know self-defense just sleeping in the bed with him when he thinks he's still in the ring. Yeah. Anyway, we're having fun with it. We do keep our sense of humor.
Yeah.
We do have our moments. We have our moments, but with people like yourself and others that really support us, and Mary Louise, honestly, we cannot claim or diagnose or treat disease. That's not what we're doing here. All we're doing is sharing what we are just shamelessly talking about because we feel that it's worked. And we've always taken supplements. We've always built our immune system. But today we are really on our soapbox because of the rise and return of more of this virus. And I know it's very scary to people, but if you do your homework and you have built your immune system, great. But if not, maybe we can help you with this. This is a very small but powerful set of products. We call them hero products. And Mary Louise started these, it was about 12 years ago, right?
Yes. And, other things are important. What I mentioned, diet,
Yes.
Water, just getting sufficient water. I make a 2-quart pitcher and fill that up twice a day and make sure I get enough water. I'm taking other vitamins like vitamin C, about 3,000 milligrams or 3 grams of vitamin C a day. D3 is very important right now for supporting the immune system, and I take at least 5,000 international units. I use of vitamin D3, and also zinc is really important. So you want to do about at least 35 milligrams of zinc, and I take vitamin A in addition to my Kyani products. So I'm really focusing on those, and one of the things I use is homeopathics. Like, if you look at this pandemic, we're actually, like if you think back of what it must have been like to live through the Second World War.
Oh, yeah.
The kind of stress, the death all around you, and people not ever knowing and not even understanding why, and all of this kind of stuff. Not only this pandemic, in Utah we had a big earthquake, and I think it was like 5.8, where it jolted me out of sleep in the morning, and my chandelier was shaking, and the whole house was shaking, and I was like, oh, great, we need an earthquake too. What's next, And then the owners of our company, 9 members of their family went down in a small plane crash. Oh, and then the president of the company quit 2 months later. And I'm like, wow. And, in this pandemic, relationships are falling apart.
Oh, my gosh. I know.
I mean, the stresses of today, I've never experienced in my entire life. I mean, everybody knows we have to deal with death. Some people get sick and die. Some people just get old and die. And we know that that is part of life. But this mass of 250,000 deaths, and there's almost something in the mind that doesn't want to accept it.
I know.
I had a friend over to dinner yesterday who had been quarantining too, so I thought I was safe. And my son goes, Mother, the governor just got on and said don't have anybody over to your house that is not in your immediate family that you live with. We're in a state of emergency, but the brain doesn't want to get it, doesn't want to accept it.
I know.
No, we want normal life.
I know.
And I just got it. Then I watched the Chicago Med program, and there was, of course, they were doing the COVID thing, and there was this man who was only 60. His wife was outside the hospital, couldn't even be with him. Mm-hmm. And they had to do a tablet for her to talk to him before he died, and, the ventilator thing going. And I go, oh, this has been happening to 250,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's scary.
What am I, crazy? I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I've been doing the mask and, that kind of thing. But, what there is for us to do, it is bad right now. It is really bad.
It is. And that's why.
It is real. People tried to politicize. Oh, and then we had all the nutso political division in our country that I've never seen in my lifetime.
On top of this.
On top of it.
On top of it. Well, yesterday, my husband is a real diehard cheesehead. His Packers, which, by the way, they won yesterday, we did go to a local restaurant, and it wasn't really packed. And normally, when you go to a regular Packers bar and they're all Packer fans, I mean, it's noisy as heck, and it kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. But for some reason, yesterday, we followed the protocol with the mask and all of that. We ate, and we were contained ourselves. But I have to admit that I enjoyed the laughter and the screams, because they had a whole bunch of different games going on, and I just said that to Master Kelly today on the way over to the studio. I said, I enjoyed that. We haven't heard that, And now we're back with all this nonsense going on again. So but the good part, wouldn't you say, Barbara, is that we are closer.
Yes. I mean, our whole life is on Zoom.
Yes, it is.
All of our business meetings on Zoom, and even visiting with family in other states on Zoom.
Yes.
And we need this community.
We do. And we more than ever.
Right now, as well as we need superfood and supplementation and good diet and sleep and exercise and water. we need kindness.
Yes.
We need to take care of each other and really care and express love.
Thank you.
I think love is so much a part of wellness and aliveness. And I was talking to you about our Kyani Triangle of Health products, that this Nitro FX in Extreme, it's a nitric oxide precursor.
It's this one.
It really expands oxygenation and circulation and brain communication and boosts the immune system, proven in science, strengthens the immune system. But it literally, it's not just not energy it gives.
No.
You can get energy from caffeine, but it is life force, vitality. And that's what people see in me at my age that is ageless, is that vitality. And that's what we're getting out of these supplements. And when I see Grandmaster now, as compared to 6 months ago, I was afraid he wasn't long for this world when I first saw him 7 months ago.
I was actually concerned because of his muscles appeared to be atrophying. Well, heck, he hadn't been working out there for a while.
Yeah.
And the HL5, the collagen, has helped with that, because that has really helped pump his pecs up, and he's gained 10, 12 pounds. And with the Triangle of Health, I mean, that is just phenomenal. I have my one set of kids on it, and I sent Jamie off. She was traveling to run a clinic out of state for 2 weeks, and she was holding on to the last little bits that she had. And I said, I'm driving over there. Kelly and I are driving over, and we did yesterday, and dropped off some product with her so that she could take with her. Now, she's a nurse practitioner, and she's out there on the front line. She's traveling, and so I feel more confident that she's taking something that I feel can help her. And again, we're not making any claims to prevent, cure, or diagnose any diseases. We're just sharing from the heart, from the love of people and our country and our world, to just make a little bit of difference.
And you know, we do have a lot of science behind these products.
Yes.
In their development and in their formulation.
Yes.
And how we have so many ingredients, all natural, plant-based. They are designed to be absorbed at the cell level. I've studied superfood nutrition and supplementation since I was 25, because I've always been an athlete. And I've never come across any protocol of products that you can actually measure the results. So these products are life-changing. But I'm going to tell you something too, Barbara. The fact that we can bring a business that people can work from home, and we can teach them how to do that.
Yes.
And I wish those of you listening here would join us, because we are a community of support. And we're helping people who have lost their incomes actually be able to work in the safety and convenience of their homes. Everything online we're doing, and we can show you how to do this. So we're lifting lives.
We are.
We're helping people stay well, and we're also helping them financially. And financial wellness is very, very important to health too, because people lose hope.
I know.
If you have, just being involved in a project where we're all working together and think tanking and all kinds of things like that, really trying to lift people and find a way. And that's the beauty of the human being.
Yes.
This is a war.
Yes, and getting really coming from the heart, living a heart-empowered life. And you said the key word, and that's love. And that's what you did when you made that call to us. And you had no idea what happened to us at all.
Yeah.
Until you called. And then we thought, well, let's try the products first. We did the research. It was all there. And we both felt results. My husband felt results the first week. I started to feel the results the second week. And it's just smooth sailing here on out. And the other thing is that I gained like 6 pounds. I'm surprised that that's all I gained, but that is all I gained, thank goodness. But to be able to have a meal replacement that has everything in it, this is something that blows my mind, and this is fairly new in just the last month or so. It's nature-based, gluten-free, guys and gals, non-GMO, no soy, and grass-fed protein. And what I love about this is that it has what's called the malice apple in it, and that is considered a belly blaster. I am telling you, to have a flat belly once again, it means the world to me. To be able to not have to squeeze into my jeans and lay on the bed to zip up the zipper anymore, that's just wonderful. I know you've never had that issue, but you're taking this along
Years
with
ago
me.
I did. When I was young, I couldn't even see the ground and looked at my tummy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that was just for a short period of my life. But getting back to something that's pretty interesting about this, there is some good in every bad. And what this has forced a lot of people to do is to look for different work. That sometimes people are in a trap. They can't give up something they don't like doing, because if you do not enjoy what you're doing, no amount of money you make is worth it. So what this has done, like I've had my dream of what I wanted to do, but I couldn't let all those classes I taught go because I couldn't financially afford that. Well, I had to get rid of all those classes, and now I'm doing the thing I really love to do. Not that I didn't like to do that, but this is like, I wake up every morning now, this has really helped me enjoy life even more. And I feel sorry for those people that don't do that. I recommend always have a plan B.
Always have a plan B.
Always have a plan B, because that plan B can be bigger and greater than all the other plans put together.
Well,
that's what's happening in our life. It's, oh my gosh, we're doing better than we were before this.
You know, it's so true, but we've always wanted to work this way with products and people that we are together on, we're on the same page with, and we're getting results, and to be able to help people have that opportunity to go to work at home. And I'll tell you, it's amazing. I mean, we roll out of bed in the morning. I'm up way earlier than my husband. We go to bed, I don't know, it depends, between 9 and midnight, okay? And as soon as our feet hit the ground, we're strategizing. It's too early to be calling people, but we're strategizing. Excuse me, we're writing and putting together videos and different ways to really get this message out there. And I'll tell you, we have more energy now than we have had in a long time. And it really is all these products from the morning till night. I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
And if you're an athlete, you can actually measure the results. Like if I take a 20-pound dumbbell and do bicep curls, I can do 8 to 10 repetitions to failure. Then I use my nitro effects, wait about 15 minutes, and I can do 20 reps. And at no time in my life could I ever do that before. So you can measure strength, speed, endurance, recovery, like that. And, you know, I used to say we hadn't scratched the surface of the athletic market, but now we have because there's nothing in it that is banned at like a stimulant. There are no stimulants in this. It is just function at the cell level. And, you know, so now we have a lot of world-class athletes, from professional ball players and boxers and Olympic athletes and even just weekend warriors who are using these products. And, you know, you can actually measure those results. But, you know, you were talking about staying well, too. And I think the spiritual, you know, Barbie, I was going through a hard time, and you sent me this lovely little book that is called Jesus Always. And it gives you a devotional for every day of the year. And it's so amazing that every time I read a page, it's like exactly what I need to hear that day. And it has so sustained me. And I've been having to go to Mass online and praying my rosary every day and, you know, praying for people. I've lost 3 close friends to COVID. One woman was only 60 and very successful woman, veterinarian, yet working on her master's in business, 2 veterinary hospitals. And I couldn't even believe it. Yeah. She had no other health issues. And man, she got sick and went on a ventilator, and 3 weeks later she was dead.
That's
you know, so
unnerving.
This has been, I don't know, that it's almost shocking, you know, like the post-traumatic stress disorder. So I think we've got to just stay spiritually connected, and help each other.
That's right, and that's what we're doing.
Wonderful that we talk every day. We have our little group, that our think tank, and doing business together and trying to, you know, those of us who have no background in sales or marketing, but we have some in our group who are teaching us.
I know.
So it's pretty dang great the community that we have.
Well, we've never had that before. We've had some really good groups, but this daily camaraderie, 4 o'clock every day, we'll leave here, the studio, and we'll be on our call at 4 o'clock religiously. And for anyone out there that may be interested in exercising, Mary Louise heads up her group at noontime Eastern time, but 10 o'clock your time in Utah. Well, actually,
And we on Zoom. And you know what we can do, Barbara? We can post on your website
Yes.
a little link.
Yes.
And you guys, anywhere in the world. We have people from Scotland and Ireland.
Yeah.
And, all over the United States and Canada joining us. So,
And sometimes on
we
Saturday
exercise.
too.
Saturday we're doing Tai Chi with Grandmaster.
And there's no charge for those classes or anything. It's just a good meet. And I'll tell you, I love being able to be on Zoom. And as much as I fought the digital age and learning all of that, I'll tell you, it's a blessing, isn't it, hon?
It certainly is.
It's just a blessing now. So yeah, it's just so exciting to be able to have this platform here on WeBeam TV. All of our shows are archived. So if you want to take these shows and push them out into social media, on your web link, or your timeline, anybody that's watching the show, please feel free to do that. There's a lot of hurting people out there. You know, I didn't get a chance to talk with you physically today, Mary Louise, but I had a gut punch this morning when I woke up at 5:30. A friend of mine was posting that after 20-some years, a long relationship was no more. And sometimes I wonder, is it this COVID that's creating such a setback in relationships or testing relationships? I don't know what the heck it is, but it seems like it's happening more and more, and the statistics are out there. So if we have something that we can honestly share with you, and that's how we do things, through the truth, and we'd love for you to just check out what the products are about. If you want something that is simplified, if you want something that's affordable, if you want to tell other people about it, it is really and truly a simplified program. You can go to immuneboosters2020.com. That's immuneboosters2020.com. And I also have a Facebook page, among many, that I have on there, and you can check that out. I've been trying to post some videos, and you're also going to be seeing a brand new link on Facebook, which we will announce, that's coming up, that Mary Louise's grandson is working on for us, where we are loading up one testimonial after another. So as one of the news stations say, we report and you decide if it's something that we can help you with for stress. There's adaptogens in these products that will help do it for you, and that's what I love. And if you're looking to have more balance, if you're looking to help yourself just live an easier life, especially during this COVID, there's a lot of people that don't have the coping skills.
And you know, this triangle of health, I think it does more to help our bodies stay strong in the face of stress.
Yes.
We're not going to escape stress. We have more stress now than when the dinosaurs were chasing us.
Oh my gosh, isn't that
Theirs
the
is
truth?
quick. You kill or they kill.
Yeah.
No in between.
Yeah, because
But we have this constant, heavy stress coming from everywhere, be it relationship, being politics, or the threat of death and dying and losing people we love. And I mean, we're not going to escape stress. But it doesn't have to damage us at the cell level. And that's what these products are so brilliant in. They literally are protecting us at the cell level. And you know, the Core 140, I've never seen a meal replacement. When you look at it, it's got prebiotics, probiotics.
I know, it's crazy.
Appetite suppressants, metabolism boosters. It's got 18 organic vegetable extracts in there. And in what you talked about, the belly fat busters, and I'm like, where's the kitchen sink? You know, I've never seen
good.
And 22 grams of pure protein.
Yes,
No
yes.
fillers, no sugar, no additives, no chemicals, nothing. It is all food-based, and yet scientifically put together like nothing I've seen. there are a lot of meal replacements out there, but they're like kindergarten next to this is college.
Oh, absolutely. And, we've tried a lot of meal replacements. And my husband is like the king of meal replacements. And I know you just love this.
I've never seen anything like that.
No, I ordered 2 bags of these and I hid one to make sure I got my share.
That's where.
And it's true. He says, hon.
No, I wouldn't steal any of yours, no.
Oh, no, never.
Absolutely not.
But it's all good. It's all good. And so
My older son, he's 56. He probably won't like me saying that on in public for him, but he looks like he's 40, and he is on several soccer teams, and they're like semi-pro, and they travel around and they compete like that. And his wife does too, and they play co-ed. And if they run out of nitro, they fight over the last of it. What did you do with that? No, you got the last one the last time. I did it this time.
I love
so
that.
true.
That sounds like us. But speaking of athletes, while we still have a few minutes left, this is also NSF certified. It's National Sanitation Foundation, which means that if you're an athlete, you can take these products and get tested, and you're fine. Speaking of athletes, you're going to probably be seeing some notations coming up here. Chrysula, who has been on the show, she's going to be competing, and she has a group of her triathlon team members that are going to be testing this out, especially the Nitro Extreme, because they've been watching her performance in all of the numbers that she's doing, from swimming to biking to all of that she's doing. And my husband's son he's a duathlete.
He is a world-class athlete.
And
he missed the Olympics by just a few seconds in the marathon.
Yeah.
And he used this for 1 week and improved his performance in his training by 10%. That's unheard of.
Exactly, and he just started this. He just started the meal replacement. So we're happy that even our family members are actually believing us. They're the worst ones. Go ahead, honey.
I would like to talk about a point about exercise that ties into the wonderful products. The University of Southern California did extensive research, and people that are 35 or older do not exercise lose 2% of their physical fitness per year. So by the time they turn 60, they've lost 50% of their physical capabilities, and the mental goes with it almost equally.
Yeah.
And those that exercise 3 times a week, they only lose 0.5% of their age. I mean, they gain.
You're good.
I'm good, yeah. Anyway, they only lose 5% of their physical capabilities. That means by the time they turn 60, they've only lost 12.5% of their physical capabilities. Now, if they take the right product, and if they take an exercise a few more times per week, it'll even be more of a age killer. In other words, not growing old that fast.
And you know what? It's a choice. It's really, really a choice. And we're putting this out there for people to, help make the right choices. And it's never too late to get started. I mean,
Grandmaster, I think 25 years of training, 4 to 6 hours a day intensely, and then teaching another hour or two. It was just my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I was always doing organic food and supplementation. I've been doing super supplementation since I was 25. And a lot of people guess me in my late 50s, early 60s. Nobody guesses me in my 70s.
No.
If they talk to me on the phone, they're like, "You're what?" They don't believe I'm 77 years old. And I'm like, well, they're only listening to me. And I'm like, it's that energy, it's that life force.
It is the life force
that we are creating. And it is holistic. But the superfood supplementation has been the most important thing that I have done in the last 12 years to not just slow the aging process, but reverse it. I have no body aches and pains. My biochemical profile is normal. My lipid profile is not just normal, it's optimum. I take, the only thing I had a thyroid tumor 45 years ago. I had my thyroid gland out. So the only medication I have to do, of course, is thyroid replacement therapy. But that's it. That's it. That's all I do. And I have no body aches and pains. I'm full of energy from early morning to late at night. It's almost abnormal for somebody my age.
But that should be the normal. It should be the normal.
That's the way we're supposed to feel all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, when you mentioned that, and again, we're doing the disclaimer where we're not making any claims to cure or treat or diagnose disease, but I will say this for myself, that the last 2 or 3 years when I've gone to get my eyes checked, my pressure has been slowly increasing. And do you know, the last time I actually went to the surgeon to double check on whether or not I have the glaucoma, and it had gone down 5 points. First time in 3 years, and the only thing different I'm doing, can I say it's this? No, I can't say for sure, but it's the only thing different I'm doing. And so many other things that I've noticed. My skin, the collagen in my skin, and the energy, the overall energy. And even the first couple of weeks, both of us, we felt like our eyesight was better. We could see the lower thirds on the TV, you know, the crawl that goes along, you know, the news channels and things like that. We could read that better. The list goes on and on, but really the best thing is to give this opportunity to everybody out there. That if you want to have a little bit more energy, maybe you will. If you want to get down on the floor like I do religiously on the floor with my grandson, I can still run circles around that little dude. He's going to be 7 next week, so he's probably going to kick it up a little bit, but we have less than a minute remaining. I just want to say, go ahead and try. Give us a call. Get a hold of us, Mary Louise, or you can even come on any of the webinars. Just get with us, and we'll tell you how to do that. You can go to immuneboosters2020.com. Just check it out. That's all you have to do. And that way, you can test these products out for 30 days. They are affordable. This puppy right here, the Triangle of Health, those are the top hero products that we started with and have never looked back. And I kid you not, 7 months on these products, it's like skyrocketing even more now. You know, you go a little bit, then a little bit more, then a little bit more. We're going to the moon. So we're happy and very, very thankful for Mary Louise. What do you think there, champ?
There's nothing out there better.
All
Believe
right.
me, when I stick my neck out, but I can feel safe about my neck, there's nothing out there that does that better.
Thanks for being with us today, and we'll see you next Monday. God bless.
God
Thank
bless
you. Bye-bye.